So here's an unfortunate reality many women have experienced, and maybe you have as well, is the fact that men can be very fragile emotionally, even mentally, when they're dating you. All right. This isn't saying all men, okay? It's never all men, but they can tend to be very sensitive, very easily triggered. All right. Due to various reasons, trauma they're still holding on to, and negative perceptions they have of women and relationships due to also what they're seeing online. One way or another, sometimes it can make a woman feel like she's walking on eggshells. Now, we don't want that. We don't want that. However, I do want you to be mindful of some things that commonly can throw off a guy, turn off a guy, maybe trigger a guy. Now, some of these things I'm about to mention, when you hear them, you're going to be like, what the hell is wrong with that, right? There should be no issue, but again, let me break down each one to help you understand what's going on. Take a deep breath, open your mind, be willing to hear me out. So one of the first things men hate that women say in the early stages of dating is, I'm the prize. Now, I know some of you are thinking this is ridiculous. Of course, you're the prize. You are a prize, okay? You are definitely a prize. But when a woman has the mentality, typically when she has the mentality of I'm the prize and the man hears that, what he really hears is it's all about you. All right, that you're up here and he's down here. And he's going to be put in this situation where he has to cater to you, but he can't expect the same level or the same energy from you in return. That's a problem. Now, again, I know many of you saying, but you've been told this whole time that you're supposed to be the prize. You hear it online all the time. And I repeat, the issue isn't in you thinking you're a prize, you're special, any of that, at least not from my perspective. The issue is, are you creating a one-sided dynamic where you have greater value than the man in this relationship? Now, here's a reality. Talk to any happy couple, any couple that's been together for a good minute, and you will see that no one will claim that they themselves are the prize. They will acknowledge and recognize that both people are of great value in the relationship. Because listen, talk to a woman that has a good man and she can tell you she has a blessing. And as well as talk to that man and he say he's been blessed. And that's the right mentality to have, because we have to go into these relationships and into this dating process understanding that, listen, we are both human beings who want to be loved, who want to be valued, who want to be respected, okay? And we can't create anything that allows either one of us to think we're better than the other. So I'm sure many of you are hearing online where some men are saying now they are the prize. And think about how that would make you feel if a man said that to you while dating you. You would probably think the same thing. You will probably think he's self-centered. He's going to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? He may be narcissistic, okay? It will start to plant those negative thoughts into your head, those negative seeds. So, of course, naturally, it can happen on the flip side. So if you are inclined to say the statement, you are the prize, I encourage you to follow that up by then saying, but I recognize that a great man is a prize too. All right. And I'm someone who can respect that and embrace that. That way he knows, okay, we're working together here. It's not a one-sided affair. All right. So now we have number 2. And the second thing that a lot of men hate when women say this is you look like you have a lot of women, right? So I know that sometimes this is just a phrase that's said in jazz. You're just joking. You're being playful, but many times you're not being playful. You're looking to see how he reacts. You're looking to see, is he a player? Does he have more stuff going on? Now, let me start with this. What the hell you expect that man to say? Like, if you say to him in that moment, you look like you get a lot of women or have a lot of women. And let's just say he actually does, right? You think he's going to be like, yep, I absolutely do. Now, some men might do that, but a lot of men, it's like he's trying to date you right now. He's focused on trying to get to know you and you bringing up other women. Now, again, a lot of things I'm going to mention on this list, if not everything, you can always ask yourself, how would it make me feel if they said that? If that man said to you, oh, you probably got a lot of men. There's a very good chance many of you, maybe not all, but many of you would think this dude's insecure. This dude's worried about the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be the most attractive thing. Now, again, I'm not saying there aren't situations where people are just being playful and it's taken as a joke and they laugh. And I think that's more likely when it's like a one-time thing. When it's a reoccurring statement, it starts to get a little annoying and starts to look like a red flag. All right. And you as a woman have to ask yourself, what if this is really going beyond just being playful? What's at the source of this? All right. Is it that deep inside? I do feel he's a player. And now I'm trying to use this quote unquote playful banter to see if I can pull something out of him or find out some more information. situation? Is it that I'm projecting these types of negative thoughts onto him because the last guys I got with turn out to be players? You got to find out what it is, because here's the thing. If it stems from something that you've experienced or a lack of trust, well, you're pretty much headed on the path of destruction in this relationship. There's a very good chance this is going to start to show up in other different areas, because at the end of the day, you are still struggling with whatever it is you have been through before, and you have not come to peace with it. And you're not letting this man show you who he is, but not only letting him show you who he is rather than projecting things onto him, but you're also not focusing on the good. And I know some of you might feel like, oh, it's not that serious. Listen, again, a lot of times it is. A lot of times, if you're real with yourself, it is. And the reality is that a lot of women self-sabotage potential relationships in the dating phase because they're not allowing themselves to embrace the good that's happening in front of them. They're too much in their head. They're questioning everything and not questioning in a healthy way. But again, questioning in a way that projects onto this situation something negative. It's hitting my spirit, so I have to mention it. Sometimes this happens due to friends and family contaminating the situation. So basically, you could have a situation where, all right, the woman is enjoying dating this man. Everything's been going really well. And sometimes women want to go, and whether it's brag, show off, or just share their joy with others, they tell their friends, associates about this man they're dating. And that other woman just has to find a way to interject something negative. That's not always the case, but many of y'all have experienced that. And now she starts planting these things into your brain to make you insecure about the situation. Because let's say she just had a situation where the guy seemed great at first, and then it turned out he was married. I don't know. You know, we see these things happen. So now it's like, oh, well, girl, you can't trust it. Oh, you better be careful. Rather than saying no, like enjoy. Of course, do your due diligence, but not in a energy or a spirit of fear and projecting negativity, but in a spirit of just trying to gain clarity and understanding and be in the right mindset for being able to move. Can you move forward with this person or not? Okay. So all that to say, make sure you are not letting other people, your past, whatever other factors creep into your mind and into your spirit to now throw off a potentially good situation. Don't worry about if he got this one, that one, unless you guys are in a relationship. That's the other thing. When we're just dating, yes, we would ideally love or like for people to just date one person, right? But the reality is that people, if they are single, are free to date more than one person if they'd like. You're free to do it. He's free to do it. To me, the focus should not be on whether they're dating other people or not. The focus should be on, are they showing up in the dating process the way that you need in order to come to a decision and determine if you guys can move them here and build something special. So basically, if he's not seeing no other women, but he's not giving you enough time in order for you guys to really build something special, then it doesn't matter what he is or isn't doing. It's just not going to work. On the flip side, if he's seeing a couple other people, he's still been talking to them. And again, you guys aren't official. You're just dating, but he is communicating with you. You guys are hanging out. He is giving you full time and attention, then focus on that. And then once we decide that we're going to move into something official, or we agree on being exclusive and official, then we can say, all right, well, if there are anybody else circling around, those people need to go. All right, so now let's keep this moving. And the next thing men hate when women say in the early stages of dating is, how much money do you have? Now, here's the thing. And listen, I want to make sure I make clear that, listen, there's going to be times where you may say some of these things and the man doesn't run or isn't turned off. So it's not like every man's going to take offense immediately to it, but it can cause a problem. And I know some of you may think, well, I would never ask a man how much money he makes. But again, sometimes it happens. And I just want you to have an understanding of why that can be a problem, why it is a problem for so many guys. And that reason is because if there's one thing, or one of the biggest things that men fear when it comes to women, is she only wants me for my money. The fear is so strong that even men who don't have money still have the fear. It's like, he ain't got no money to lose, and he's still worried that you are only after the imaginary money, like, or that eventually when he starts making it, that's what you're going to start being focused on. And the reality is that many men have been used, all right, have been taken advantage of. And when you're turning on the internet and you're hearing all these discussions, and you're constantly hearing it's about women wanting six-figure men, No, though I do not co-sign and believe that all these women want, plenty of women want financial stability. Plenty of women ideally would want a man who's making six figures or whatever. But I recognize that the vast majority of women are looking for a man they can have a loving relationship with who at least is financially stable. And there's plenty of women who may ideally want these things, but who they fall in love with may be something completely different. Anyway, that's a whole different discussion. The point here is men are